Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our first Wednesday Chit Chat and Coffee at 3 p.m. So thank you for stopping by again and checking out my next fabulous guest, Nicolle Wilhauk. Nicolle and I have been friends, oh gosh, I'm going to say roughly 5-6 years now. I think we are sitting at, and watching Nicolle through her just transition in life and finding her role and really diving into herself has been an absolute pleasure. So I am super excited to introduce her and her company to you today. So Nicolle Wilhauk, co-founder of Sobriety Systems Canada. After a successful 5-year career in the wedding and event planning, Nicolle knew that she needed to find some more purpose in her life. Although she had amazing clients and received great accolades, she was getting burnt out and lost that fulfillment she once had. Working with people has always been a passion for her, but finding a more meaningful way to help others was the path she desired. Meanwhile, she was making massive changes in her life by taking care of her mind, body, and spirit. During this transformational shift, she made the life-altering decision to quit drinking alcohol. Dealing with her own personal struggles with alcoholism and watching family members struggle and also die from alcoholism, she knew that a sober life was the best decision for her. Easy to talk to, outgoing, and a happy demeanor, plus an entrepreneurial spirit, Nicolle is a true example of how sobriety can positively change your life. She knows what you are going through and can relate with all the worries you have. Running this business is the perfect fit for her, and she's very excited to work with other people who want to live a fulfilled and sober life. This has reformed, drunken party girl can do it. So can you. So welcome, Nicolle. How are you?
Thank you, Tessa. I am awesome. I'm so excited to be on here with you today.
Oh my God, I am so glad you are here. And I'm so happy for you. I am happy for the changes you've made. I'm happy and excited for your business and all that you have done so far and all that you're going to continue to do. So congratulations.
Thank you. Do you love that line, the reformed drunken party girl? Because Tessa, we've gone out in the past, you know.
Oh, yes. Nicolle was quite the party girl, to say the least. I've taken care of her once or twice, and to the point where I think you called me Mother Tessa.
Yeah, that was a nickname we dubbed you. Me and Kimberly.
So
oh, yeah.
We definitely had good times, but I know that I have gone out with you since then, and you are just as much fun, if not more sober. So
yeah, exactly. And I think that's my personal mission to say, hey, I used to go out and party and have fun. And now I go out and party and have even more fun sober. So that's one of the biggest issues people usually have. So
absolutely. Absolutely. So share with the audience what it is exactly that you do through your business.
All right. So like Tessa, you said, my business is called Sobriety Systems Canada. And I run that business with my fellow colleague and co-founder, Jason Kelly. And what we do is an online sobriety coaching program. So our program we put people through is proprietary to us. So Jason created this amazing 10-week program, and we brought it from the US to Canada. And since then, we've also added on a few other programs. Sometimes people don't want to jump right into the big program. So we have a 30-day introduction to sobriety program. And we also have a free 14-day sobriety challenge. But basically, anyone who wants to quit drinking alcohol for any reason, we're here to help them figure out, the reasons why they're drinking so much, their underlying habits and issues with alcohol. And we bring them through our programs to teach them how to live your life without using alcohol. And everyone has a different story. And that's what makes this job so unique, is that not every person is the same. However, all of us who have issues with alcohol have a ton of similarities. So when I talk to someone and they're telling me their issues and what they're struggling with, I can relate, because usually we have the same struggles. And it takes some time to be ready to be in that place to make this change. But when you are ready, it's the biggest gift you can give yourself. So the nice thing is we do this all online. So we do use platforms like Zoom, GoToMeeting, FaceTime, anything. But most of the stuff can just be done over the phone. It's so simple. And we talk to our clients every day, and we're their sober coach. We're there to talk you through a bad day. We're there to give you shit if you need it. Like, we're there to help you. So I like to compare it to what you do, Tessa, and what two nutritionists do and things like that. Like when you need expert help, you hire an expert.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're here for. But you don't have to go through this alone. And you definitely don't need to like white knuckle your way through making this life change. And that's what we're here for.
And I absolutely love that, because the transition that you made that I witnessed was very easy and very subtle. And it was great, because for people who don't know you, Nicolle travels a lot with her husband, and you recently just came back from your trip, and the way that you had seen things was just, it was like a child on Christmas, the way that you explained it, looking out the window and saying, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And your husband's like, yeah, we've seen it before. And you're like, but not through these lenses. Like, and and just seeing things and experiencing the world around you with nice, clear eyes, it's really a gift to see and hear you experience those changes. So I love it. Can you share a little bit of your story with us? So where you've been to where, and what's brought you to where you are now?
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. So like we said in my bio, I was a wedding and event planner for the past 5 years. And I was dealing with a bit of burnout, and mostly that my kids are getting older and I would always have to work weekends. And that just sucks. Like, wedding weekends, what most people don't know is that you're usually working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I made the decision I needed to get out of it. And I was just losing my passion. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to quietly close down my business and, finish up my clients I have. But meanwhile, like, I was still dealing with a whole bunch of different personal struggles, and we all have our struggles and our stuff, right? So I was dealing with those and like trying to find my place in the world almost. And this opportunity came to me, that I should possibly look into the world of coaching. I didn't know where to start though. I knew I wanted to help people, just like you, Tessa. Tessa and I are so similar. I want to work with people. I want to help them. I want to guide them. But I wasn't living my best self, and I was almost kind of living a lie a bit because I was drinking so much. And we had a couple losses in our family, and the loss of my dad really put me over the edge. He was also an alcoholic. So when he died, I really had to look at my life and think, he was taken way too soon. This is not the path I want to be on. So I made the decision to quit drinking. And, so many people say like, oh, did he have a rock bottom, or did he get a DUI or something? Like, most people expect this huge story. No, I woke up one day and I'm like, I'm done. And that's how I evolved into being a sober coach. I had met Jason, and, talking with him and everything, he's been running his sobriety systems in the United States for 5 years. Super successful. And I was well on my way in my sober journey, and I was feeling so much confidence. And I was also doing a whole bunch of personal growth conferences and seminars and learning and everything. And he's like, you know what, Nicolle, like, I want to take this to Canada, and I want to work with you. Like, you have the entrepreneurial spirit. And then it's a great balance that, you know, he's a male and I'm a female, and I'm about 10 years younger than him. So I hit a different demographic. And yeah, so we started firing up this business. And of course, everything takes so much longer than you think. You just can't turn a key and have a business running, especially an online business.
Yeah.
It's so much more different than, yeah, it's different than a traditional store, right? So we worked and still lived our life, and I continued on my sober journey. So we officially opened our business in January of this year, and right around the same time I hit my 1-year sobriety mark. So I've been sober. I've been sober for 14 months.
Great.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I celebrated my birthday in Mexico this year. And that's a very common place for me to celebrate my birthday.
Yep.
But, you know, waking up sober the day of your birthday is an incredible feeling. And being sober the next day, oh my God, not having a hangover. So, you know, like, it's just all these little, like, actually that's not a little accomplishment. It's a huge accomplishment. But every little bit you do just makes you realize, like, wow, this was such a good decision. It was so smart. And for me, and I know you've seen this, Tessa, and I know lots of my girlfriends who are watching, they can attest to this. Like, you can see the physical change. Like, I've lost a ton of weight. And I was already like working out and doing all the things, but I wasn't losing the weight. Well, because alcohol's a poison, you guys. So if you're not losing the weight, it's because look at what you're putting in your body. You can be eating clean all you want, but if you're drinking, you're not going to lose weight. So like just swelling and inflammation and weight loss. I could list like 2,000 things that I've noticed that
Even your skin is
have benefited me.
You glow now. Like, you just
Yeah.
whole different glow to you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So, like, I do feel like the best version of myself, and that really reflects into the business I'm doing now, and my energy levels and talking to people. And nothing is better than talking to someone and saying to them, hey, listen, I know what you're going through. I just quit drinking 14 months ago. And they're like, wow, really? It's like you give them hope. And, you know, I hate the term alcoholic. God, I hate that. And it's so damaging. You know, someone gets that label and it can damage them. I prefer to say that I had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. And that is exactly what it is. It was the worst relationship in my life. And I don't have that anymore. And it's so freeing. And let me tell you one thing, and tell you to all of our listeners today, if you're sitting at home in quarantine and wondering, how am I going to get my next bottle? I'm running low on wine. Oh my God, I have no beer. Call me. I can't imagine going through quarantine right now being a drinker. I can't.
No,
I can't.
No, I've had a couple drinks. Our first week seemed to be more like increased, and then we got to week 2, and I literally looked at my husband and I said, we need to stop. Like, both of us have increased and there is absolutely no need for it. So, and I really, like, I had to take a step back and look, and I looked at him and I'm like, we need to stop. And he agreed with me, because I'm like, there is no reason why we should be having 6 drinks a day just because we're at home. Like, there is no need for that. So we were definitely in that area on week 1.
Yeah. And so, like, kudos for you guys. You don't have a drinking problem. You're like, whoa, what are we doing here? I better pump the brakes. A lot of people can't do that, though. And that's why you need help. And that's why you need a coach. So I like, and you know what? I have a ton of friends that drink and go out, and they can have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I never was that person.
Mm-hmm.
Never. So you know, you really just got to look inside and be like, all right, do I have to be drinking? And if the answer is yes, then, you know, come on, make the change. Do you really want to live the rest of your life like this, you know?
And I love what you said. You don't have to do it alone. No, nothing in this world you have to do alone. So don't ever be afraid to reach out to a coach, to ask for help, no matter if it's for drinking, for, you know, business coaching, for life coaching, whatever it is. You don't have to do anything alone. There are people who have experienced it and who have made those changes that are willing to help with absolutely no judgment, nothing but love. So I really like how you stated that, because it's very true. So this was obviously a big step, and going forward with a step like this, asking for help can be very scary. So how did you overcome any fear that you felt may have been in the works of holding you back from making this shift?
So that is like pretty much the whole premise of my entire journey was fear. From the beginning, I decided to stop drinking. I feared what my friends and family would say. How would I explain that I'm going out and not drinking? What are they going to think of me? Are they going to label me? Like, you name it. I already suffer from anxiety. So this just amped it up so bad. So it took me a long time. And as much as I didn't go through this alone, I did to an extent, only because I was so afraid of going out. I was so afraid. I was beating the demons in my house, but I was so afraid to face them head on, going out for dinner, going to a party, things like that. And so it took me a few months. It really did. I refused to go on specific vacation spots and things like that. Like I couldn't do it. So eventually you just have to swallow it and be like, what are you so afraid of? Who are these people? Like you keep thinking these people are going to do this, and they, who are they? Who actually are they?
Yeah.
Most people can't answer that question. So finally I'm like, forget it. I'm done. And I started opening up to people. You were one of them, Tessa. I sat you down. I told you I quit drinking. And you're like, I am so proud of you. Yeah. Every single person I have told that I've quit drinking and have told them my journey and told them now what I'm doing with my business have been so supportive. There has not been one single person who has dared to criticize what I'm doing. So why are we afraid? But you just have to swallow, take a big breath, and just do it. And what's the worst that could happen? I have the best support system in place. My husband is like my biggest cheerleader. My mom, my granny, like the people closest to me knew what I was doing. Why did I care about anybody else's opinion? Really? Like, really, why did I? And turns out every person I told, there was no fear, there was no worry, there was just love and no shame.
And you know you have the right support system when you are literally surrounded by nothing but love. And so
that's right.
Definitely were surrounded. And you know, when you first launched your business and you called it your side hustle, and I was like, I mean, it's a little bit more than a side hustle, girl. Like, this is pretty freaking big.
Yeah, Tessa actually got mad at me. She actually got mad at me, and this is our relationship. We know we can talk to each other like this, and she's like, Nicolle, this is not a side hustle.
I know. I was like, no, like you need to rearrange your brain on this one, because this is.
Well, that's fear talking.
Yeah. And right? Same with you know, taking that, that leap on telling people about not necessarily going sober, but now you are this co-founder and the CEO of this huge company that's now like in the US and in Canada. And like you had said, well, you were afraid of those people. And when realistically, those people are a lot of people that we make up in our heads, because it's the fear who's doing that to us. So a lot of the time, our friends and family are going to be very supportive, but we conjure these demons in that convinces us otherwise. So for people who are feeling fearful, they have conjured up these what ifs and I don't know, and these people that you talked about. What advice would you give them to start taking that road to living a sober, healthier lifestyle?
Well, there's two parts to that. So like fear and everything can relate in anything you're doing. It doesn't have to be about getting sober, but the best thing I ever did for myself was like jump in feet first into personal development. And I have gone to conferences, I've listened to seminars, I've gone to meetings. I'm obsessed. And you know what? If you're not growing, you're dying. So personal development, and I'll be straight up honest. Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jenna Kutcher, and then of course my queen, Rachel Hollis. They all helped me through this. Tony Robbins, I went to his Unleash the Power Within conference, and that was the absolute game changer for me. That was what made me take the step in the right direction and not keep down that ugly path. Not everyone can go to his conferences. Well, especially now, none of us can, but there is so much free information on YouTube and his website. Or if you want to buckle in and read his book, that's like, 3 inches thick. Read it. He has many books, but his one, Unleash the Power Within, is big.
Something on Netflix too about him, or is that?
Oh yeah, that's right. He has a documentary that just kind of gives you an insight to one of his programs he does called Date with Destiny. Okay. It's not going to really teach you anything. It just shows you what he does.
Okay.
So the personal development was huge, and that's what helped. And then of course, talking to my support system. And, knowing that I shouldn't be so afraid. And Nicolle, I'm always told, you're so confident. Like, why are you so afraid? And it's like, yeah, you know what? I am. Like, find that confident woman again, pull her out because she's been hiding for a while. But when it comes to sobriety, only you can make the decision. No one can drag you by your feet to come get help. And we've all seen it if you've watched those TV shows. I don't know if they're on anymore. Intervention. You watch those shows.
Gosh, I don't know if they are anymore either. I think I've only ever watched one of them, to be honest with you.
But like the premise in the show is people stage an intervention, usually for a massive drug addict, because they seem to be the worst. But if they aren't ready, they'll go do the rehab, but they won't last. They'll get out and fall back off the wagon. So you just have to really be honest with yourself. And if you've ever thought to yourself, do I have a drinking problem? Could I be an alcoholic? Chances are you are, because people who do not ask themselves that question don't have a problem with drinking. Yeah. So it's really about finding it inside of you to have the courage to make the steps to finding help. And in our society, there's really only a couple avenues, and that's why this business is so successful. You either go to AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous. You get branded as an alcoholic. You go to churches and do the steps and the program. And there's a lot of organized religion in that. So some people aren't comfortable with that. Some people aren't comfortable with sitting in a circle of strangers telling their story. And, they say it's anonymous, but is it really? Like, I don't know. I knew that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Then there's rehab. Well, do you really need to go to rehab? I knew I didn't. Like, it wasn't like I was drinking a 40-pounder of vodka every day. Yeah. I just couldn't put down the wine bottle when I started drinking it. So did I need to go dry out or anything? No. So that's where our programs come in. We're trying to bridge that gap and say like, hey, listen, like we have a proven course. We have hundreds of successful clients that are still living sober lives and happy, fulfilled sober life. My biggest fear when I got sober was I'm going to have no fun. What a lie is that? Oh my God. I've had the best year of my life. And I'm not going to get into that because then otherwise it'll be an hour-long conversation.
Yeah, I look back and I watch you and your life and I'm like, damn, that looks like so much fun. You do have a very fulfilling life. Absolutely. And you know what? And it's it's very true. I've heard more times than not, I have to drink to have fun, to, you know, be brave enough to dance, to be brave enough to sing karaoke, to just let loose. And I mean, and I've been one of those people who said that. And as I get older and wiser, and I'm one of those people who can have 1 to 2 and stop. Like, I've never had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. And just being able to go out now and not even have one, I still have fun. And for me, I'm a people watcher. So when I get to sit down and I get to like soak in what's happening around me, to me, that's one of the best fun things ever, going out. So
Yeah,
definitely have a lot of fun sober.
totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I like that. So one more question, Nicolle. Can you share with us if you have had to rearrange your business recently to social distancing? And if so, what changes have you made, and how has this affected yourself and your business?
So the first thing we really had to do with this crazy pandemic is alter the way we accept payments from customers, because so many people are taking this opportunity to get sober. Okay. And I just want to preach it from the mountaintop. Now is the time. Oh my Lord. You have no social pressure. None. Come on, you guys. So, but you know, 1/3 of Alberta is on EI. So people are like, they know they're going to have money when they can go back to work, but they can't pay right now. So we always talk to people and say, like, listen, we're here to help you. That is our mandate. This is our legacy. We want to help people get sober. If you can't pay us right now, we're going to work something out with you. Okay. So that's like our biggest thing. And some people are okay with that. Some people aren't. You know, it depends on every person's situation, that's for sure. So that was like our first pivot. But our second pivot is seeing that our community needs us. And how they need us is to provide online AA meetings. Now, we don't go to AA, but we work closely with them because a ton of our clients do. And some people just need that connection, and that I need to go to a meeting, I need to do this to stay sober. And that's perfectly fine. Like, we're all championing the same result. We all just want everyone to stay sober. So we're offering online AA meetings, and lots of different people are doing this, which is fantastic because no one can go to an AA meeting anymore because they're shut down just like everything else. So we're doing online AA meetings every day at 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. my time. So here in Edmonton. Today, Jason's running that since we're online together. Yeah, and you know, it's great, and they're free. AA is free, so free online meetings. But for us, that was about it because we're already an online business, so we didn't have to make massive pivots like some businesses have to.
Absolutely. My sister runs a gym in Sherwood Park, and she had to close her doors. And she did some stuff virtually, but now she's really had to like flip flop and really just transform it to go completely virtual to keep her business running. So I I love the fact you guys have made a little changes, but I love the fact that you guys are online, because the great thing about online coaching is you can be in the comfort of anywhere to get coaching. If you're at home, or if you have a break at work, or if you're driving and you need to pull over to talk, like there's to get away, there's ways to do it without always worrying about, oh, now I'm going to drive 45 minutes to go to the office, sit down. And that travel time, for me is huge, because I have to travel a lot when I need to go into Edmonton. So the online comfort, in the comfort of wherever you are, plays a huge factor in success, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing is we can work with clients all over the world. So just because I'm branded as Sobriety Systems Canada doesn't mean my clients are only in Canada. We're going to be on podcasts in the UK in a few weeks. we're, you know, we have clients in the US, so we can work with anybody anywhere, which is
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is the wonderful thing about online. So Nicolle,
Yeah.
if anybody watching this today would like to reach out and connect with you, how about do they go doing that?
Well, we're on Facebook. This video is on Facebook, so you all know that. But really, like, our main traffic is from our website and Instagram. So you can find us at Sobriety Systems Canada on all the platforms. And our website, we'll link it in the notes, but it's sobrietysystemscanada.ca. And on there, you'll find information about our programs. You'll see some videos from me and Jason. And then, yeah, there's contact us pages, or you could give me a call or shoot me an email. And yeah, we always just set up a time to chat. And that's one of our favorite things to do, is to talk to you, hear your story with no shame.
Excellent. Beautiful. So thank you everybody for watching this. Again, Nicolle's contact will be in the comments below. So watch out for that if you personally want to reach out to her and connect. Nicolle, thank you so much again for being here. You are, I love you to bits, and I love what you are doing. And I have seen just the growth in you in this, and it's amazing. So everybody, Nicolle Wilhauk, and if you want to reach her, the contact will be below. So thanks, Nicolle. You take care.
Thanks, Tessa. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.